Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The New Orleans Saints have added another player in free agency. Interesting ad, because it's one position where I would look at New Orleans and say, you know what? I actually think they're good there. Barry Wesley is an offensive lineman who played his collegiate ball at Arizona State. He's a 6'7" offensive tackle. Excuse me, I said Arizona State, Colorado State, forgive me. Played his collegiate football at Colorado State. He had a cup of coffee in the NFL back in 2023 with the Atlanta Falcons. He was kind of back and forth with the active roster and the practice squad, but has not taken an NFL snap in a game. But he's also survived a little bit. You know, he's 25 years old, so he's still a relatively young player, and he's versatile. He played both guard and tackle at the college level, played with the Massachusetts Pirates of the Indoor Football League in 2022, and then signed with the Seattle Sea Dragons of the XFL in 2023. Also got his first crack in the NFL in 23 with the Falcons, where he was back and forth with the 53-man roster in the practice squad, but did not take a snap. Released in 2024, and then in 2024, last spring, played for the Birmingham Stallions of the UFL. So if you're following all this, that's two players this week that the New Orleans Saints have signed out of the UFL. We talked about Seth Green, the tight end, cha-ching, who signed with the New Orleans Saints, former Minnesota Gopher. And now Barry Wesley, the former Colorado State Ram. Interestingly, Skip Holtz is a familiar name to all of us. Was an assistant with his father at South Carolina, was the head coach at South Florida, and also at Louisiana Tech for a lot of years. Now Skip Holtz is the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions of the UFL, and Barry Wesley, was his player. So this is what Skip Holtz said on Three Man Front on Jocks FM there in Birmingham about Wesley and his versatility.
We've had a lot of moving pieces there on the offensive line, but it's given guys like Barry Wesley, who's been an inside player for us early in the season, went out and played tackle, and I thought did a great job for us out at tackle. They're getting better. They're developing. They're feeling comfortable in the offense. I thought that was huge.
So a versatile lineman, which is key, because if you're going to make a roster, and I'm not going to sit here and fancy a guess that Barry Wesley is going to make this roster, which I'll run through the numbers here in just a second, but if you are going to make the roster, you have to be a versatile player. You think about the swing offensive linemen in recent years from New Orleans and how they've made the team. It's been their ability to play inside and out. I mean, you can go back to, look at Will Clapp right now, who can play both guard and center for you. Lucas Patrick a year ago, it was the same thing. He could play guard or center. So you want guys that are versatile. I mean, I can think back to Andrus Peat, who was disappointing his career because you drafted him to be a starting tackle. He ends up playing guard, but there were times when you had injuries to Teron Armstead where Andrus Peat became your left tackle when there was an injury. So he was a guy that could play inside or out. So versatility matters if you're going to make a roster in the NFL. I mean, unless if you are a first-round draft pick who is a plug-and-play starter who is designated for your position, you have to have versatility, the ability to move around. Look, we've even seen it with Cesar Ruiz, who's played both guard and tackle. So when you look, though, at the New Orleans Saints offensive line, as odd as it is to say, because we've had so many issues looking at New Orleans on the offensive line and the inability of these high-level draft picks to succeed at a high level at the next level, it kind of feels like this has become a position of strength, or at least maybe perceived position of strength, because of the investment. I mean, the last 2 years you've used your first-round pick on tackles. We know that. Most notably now with Kelvin Banks being your starting left tackle. So Taliesin Fuanga moves back to the right side, and you know the rest of the drill there with Trevor Penning moving to guard, Cesar Ruiz and Eric McCoy, who's a second-round pick. But, I mean, you've got tons of draft capital invested in your starting offensive line, and a lot of those guys obviously have shown versatility. But after those, you're probably looking for 3 more guys that you're going to carry. And Will Clapp feels like a shoo-in to make this roster because of his versatility at center and guard. And then you're looking at other guys where you have draft capital invested in them as well. So, I don't know that there is really I don't know that there's really a spot to be had. Nick Saldiveri is a guy that's played for you, although taking him with the first pick of round 4 out of Old Dominion and not seeing him really latch on to one of those spots has been disappointing. And the Saints have obviously also gone into free agency in this offseason and added veteran help on the offensive line as well. So I don't know that there's really a spot here for Barry Wesley to make this team. It's probably a situation where it's a camp body, but you never know. I mean, he's 25 years old, and maybe he surprises people and can step up and win one of those jobs. Dylan Radins is a free agent signee from the Titans that New Orleans added this year. So if I had to guess, Clapp, Radins, and Saldiveri would be my guess of the 3 backup swing linemen that would make this team, or at least would be the odds-on favorites to make this team. But maybe Barry Wesley's a guy that comes in as a tackle with UFL experience who starts to improve and can win one of those starting jobs. But you'll see how it plays out. I think it's also interesting, though, maybe even more so, that New Orleans is looking to the UFL potentially as a feeder, as a sort of minor leagues of sorts. And I think that's always been the ambition of these other leagues, be it the XFL, the UFL, the IFL, whatever the case may be, to have their spring football league be viewed as a springboard to the NFL, almost like a minor league. Say, come play games here, get professional experience here, grow, develop, be coached well here, and then go off to the NFL. And the more success stories there are of UFL players signing with NFL teams, like the more obviously the more success that league will have because the more credibility they'll get. And guys who maybe are roster cuts, coming up here, in the summer when we get to NFL, roster cuts, those guys are going to be looking for a place to play maybe in the spring. That's going to be their opportunity. So, maybe you start to see even a better influx of talent into the UFL because of guys like this that are getting their opportunity in the NFL because of the experience gained and the tape they put out in the UFL. So just something to file away. But Barry Wesley becomes the second UFL player this week, joining tight end Seth Green, to be signed by the New Orleans Saints. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.